Hey traders, what is going on? What is going on? I tell you what, one of the biggest crashes we've seen in a long time, or maybe not a really big crash, but a freak out is going to come to all these markets. Do you know how much euphoria is across these markets right now? Especially my hair. See my hair? That's what's happening in the markets right now. Stock market, gold, silver, mining sector, Bitcoin. Oh my goodness. Do you, traders, I'm telling you right now, this is something building up big time. And I'm telling you right now, the coming crash is going to destroy so many people. And that's next year. Everything is going to get hit big time, apart from bonds. That's why I'm in bonds, right? TMF, guys, TMF, TLT. You watch. Interest rates come down next year. Everything comes down, but the only best thing is going to be bonds. That's why I'm invested in it right now myself, right? TMF. Because as next year happens, interest rates come down. We know we're in a cutting cycle. We know what's coming, and we know everything is just sky high. And I'm pretty sure you're hearing about it as well too. And you're hearing the people like, oh my goodness, the Bitcoin, the gold, the silver, the mining stocks, stock market indices, right? There is so much euphoria right now. Oh my goodness. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to cause a lot of pain because people don't understand the markets. And if you haven't seen my video today where I talked about price and time, where there's a universal law about these markets, if there's a lot of price, a lot of movement, there needs to come a resting phase. If you haven't seen that, go check out my video that I did today on YouTube or on here. Or at least go to my post page and you see the last couple of posts I did. I talked about how there's a rhythm to these markets. And right now there is no rhythm, or there's a extended rhythm in what's called a price phase. We're in a very big move and there needs to be a time phase and a resting phase come up. I'm telling you right now, the craziness that I'm seeing right now, the average individual, especially in the crypto market, oh my goodness. I'm telling you right now, something massive is going to come. And next year, I'm sensing it. This year is a bubble, everything going up, everything going up, everything going up. You watch 2026. It's going to be a year of devastation. Then guess what? Here's a bit of FYI for you guys that are smart investors. Wait for it. Wait for the fear next year. Wait for everyone freaking out. That's the time to buy. Why? Because that's when we see big, massive moves in the stock market. That's when we see a massive move in the mining sector again. Big bull market. And that's when we see 10,000 gold coming over the next 5 years. So traders, I hope you do listen to the warning signs. And here's the thing about trading the markets, okay, guys? Some of you, the best thing to do about trading is see what's coming and then just be alert of what's coming, right? We do know what's coming very, very, very soon. These markets are not just going to keep going straight up. And that's just being smart as a trader, right? Just seeing what's coming. We don't know when that's going to happen, but just being smart. And the hardest thing about trading the markets is that when so many people are on one side, you know that you need to be doing the opposite, right? You know that. Like for example, what were most people, probably most of you guys, what were you thinking down the bottom here when the tariff situation? You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, the crash and so on and so forth, right? That's the reason why, especially trading the markets, you've got to be a contrarian at major turning points. And unfortunately, the noise and the herd is always the wrong. And right now, guys, that's where my warning signs are here, right? Half my job as a coach for you is to just say, listen, guys, sometimes it's best just to step aside. If you're looking for new trading opportunities, sometimes it's just best to step aside when you're uncertain about you actually like what's going on right now. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like that's half the battle with your own trading. But anyway, let's have a look at the actual markets today. Let's have a look at see what's likely to happen moving forward from here. So we're looking at the S&P 500. We can see the weekly chart to the left and the daily chart to the right. Just extraordinary quality moves to the upside, as you can see. And you can see this really big move to the upside. Now, the line in the sand for me is that we do know, if I just bring this up to here, the line in the sand for me this week, I want to see what actually happens this week. Is it going to be October? Now, as you can see by looking at my weekly charts, how do markets operate? Very simple, right, guys? Very simple. right? It's actually not that complicated, is it, right? Market goes up for a while, and then we have a pullback, and then we go up for a while. We have a bit of a flush down. We go up for a while. We may even go up like a little bit more up through here, right? And then inevitably we're going to get another one of these, right? Because another one of these, right? It's just very simple, right? We are going to get these swings in motions. Unfortunately, some people don't see that, so it's very common around that level there. And it's really interesting, right? Most people want to buy now, and most people are getting out here. So traders, the line in the stand for me is one thing that we do know there's a correction going to come in the markets, right? Because that's how markets are formed, right? Because that's what a big bull trend is, right? It's higher lows. But how is a higher low formed? Oh, that's right. It has to come down to form the higher low, and then up and down and form a high, and up and down. See what I'm saying here, right? So looking at these markets here right now, we're not there yet. But one of the really big interesting things around, you'll see here that when we make these higher lows, see how let me see. So we make these, see how we've been making these small little higher lows all the way up, higher low, higher low, higher low, and there's this last little low, higher low. As long as these lows keep staying intact, then this blow off, this very strong vertical move is going to keep there. Your very first warning sign that that big correction, another really big correction, or at least a 10% correction, right? I don't believe we're likely to get a really big correction this year, right? Because we've only got 2.5 months left of this year. But next year, get ready. I'm just lost for words anyway. But the warning sign that I'm watching out for every single week right now is this low here, right? Because as soon as that low is broken, in an upward trend, we have higher lows, right? Up, down, higher low, and then higher low, right? So as long as we make higher lows, this is called an uptrend from here, even on a short-term level basis here. Now, when the uptrend is now over or potentially ending, is when we're no longer making higher lows, right? So higher lows is an upward trend. But if the market comes down and breaks that low, now we've got what? Now we've got a lower low, don't we? That's the very first time we made a lower low, because the market could be doing this, higher lows. See what I'm saying? High lows, high lows, high lows. So the first warning sign that we should be looking out for right now in these markets is this low here. Right now, we don't have that. Game on for the bulls, and let's just continue to have this big move to the upside. But mark my words, guys, once we start, if we do pause here and we start to roll over and we start to break this 6,600, this whole big bull market, this whole big bull phase is over. And then now we're going to see probably a 10% correction in the markets. And that's coming, right? That is coming. A 10% correction is coming in the markets. We just don't know when. Now, to give us a warning sign of when that could potentially start, you now know what to look for in the markets from there. Go look at the NASDAQ as well too, and it's the same situation, right? We're getting these high, in this very big bull move from here. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. And we have a small little high low here. We've continued to make these high lows from here. As soon as we break that low, then that's when we're probably going to. And let me show you an example here of what I mean. Let me show you. Right, and I'm just talking about a correction here of maybe, again, 10%, especially on the markets here. But if you look at this here, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. And there's a higher low, and there's maybe no higher low. Notice when we actually broke it, that's when we started to see the strong move down, right? So we start to get these breaking of lows before we actually get that. Let me see if I can go back to here a bit more. Even in the tariff situation, look at this here, right? So even in the tariff situation, and I'm trying to show you because the tariff was a black swan event, right? Low, higher low. That was the last, see how that was the last high low? But what happened here? Notice here that this actually broke the low, right? So we actually went up, down, high, low, up, down, small little high, low, up, down, small little high, low. We don't know when the top's going to be in, right? But look at this here. As soon as we actually started breaking the low, that's when we started getting the big freak out, right? Every single time. So when you see this here, whenever we do get that, oh, by the way, look at this here. This actually looks like gold right now, right? Look, this is very interesting to see. See this sharp move down here? You'll notice when I get to the gold chart, you'll notice we've been making high lows all up, but this very last big move, this very last move in the markets it creates a very blow off move before we actually start to see the end of the trend from here. And one of the big things, guys, is just be open-minded. So many people are not open-minded. So this is not about me being right or wrong. This is about me just saying, hey, here's some things to keep an eye on for. If you are trading the markets, you should be trading based off a system and the rules that you're following. Unfortunately, most of you muppets in the comment section that have a little go at me, you are taking what I'm saying as just this education video, as I'm teaching you, I'm showing you some things about the market, and you're going to trade off that. No wonder you're part of the 90% who doesn't have long-term consistent success, right? So it's like right and wrong. You're right, I'm wrong. You're right, I'm wrong. Guess what? You're going to be wrong sometimes. You're going to lose some money. That's actually part of trading, right? And if you're trying to be right all the time, anyway. By the way, guys, FYI. See this analysis here? I don't trade off this. I'm doing analysis for you guys to give you an update. But I'm trying to show you, if you actually want to be professional in the markets, professionals follow a plan, a system, right? You know that. I'm pretty sure you've heard it before, right? But if you're trading gold right now because you think it's going to keep going up, and that has nothing to do with an actual trading plan, you're gambling, right? And I know, I'm going to get the muppets in the comment section. John, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Hey. But what I do in these videos, I teach you how these markets work on a deepest level so you can get a good understanding of that. So, and again, I'll talk to you about that in just a minute here. Good old DJ. Let's go to the good old DJ. DJ in the house. Right, and DJs continue to move up as well too. So the same sort of situation from here. This is the first warning sign here, right? So lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher lows from here, as you can see. So we continue making these high lows. Once we break the low, then that's going to be the sign of, that's when we're probably going to start to see the correction from there. If I go to the Russell as well too, and the Russell, yeah, the Russell is actually all-time new high. So the same thing for the Russell, right? So, all right, guys, so this week here, keep an eye on these lows, because as an upward trend, buyers in control, strong upward trend is higher lows, as you guys know. And this also works for the weekly chart as well too. That's why if we've done this and no higher low, the market's going to come down and create the high low. So this right now, the line in the sand for me, especially on the Russell, would be around the 2,400, this last low through here. So this last low through here, if we do pause and break down through there, that's going to be the very first time we've created that. And if it does, that's also a double top. And now you're going to start to see. And we do that. This is the very short-term analysis, but if we look at the overall swings of the markets once again, if I bring up now the weekly charts, you will see how there's this swinging motion that's happening right now, right? If I go to there, this is the same for the S&P 500. So we do know we're due for some sort of correction, just to cool off a bit, and then away we go again. But if we are going to start once again, if we are going to start to see the correction here, once we start to see something like that, just a nice little pullback, which is going to happen, guys. It's baked in the cake. We just don't know when, but now we can get a good warning sign of when this pullback is likely going to happen. And this is now looking at the big picture from here, and the same for looking at the NASDAQ as well too, and also the Dow Jones from there as well too. Now, I also mentioned today about, look at this here. So I'm always, part of trading is, a lot of the time trading for me is not getting involved with things, but also just getting a good understanding of where we're at. So if I look at gold, and people think anyway, look what gold's been doing here, right? Look at this move from here. This is the final move. This is the final move in gold before we actually see a really big move on the downside. Absolutely going to get destroyed on the downside. Now, I want to show you this here. I want to show you this post here. I want to show you this post here that I did for my good old YouTube folks here. Right, there we go. Right, so, and this level through here, right? So if I bring up this level here, there's a thing about understanding about the markets, about price and time phases and how this all works. If you want to go to my post, you can actually see this here. Also, you can see that there's a 100-year cycle here. But as you can see here, that if I bring this up and I zoom right in, you can actually see that there's different phases these markets go in. And unfortunately, people that trade the markets, they don't see this thing coming, right? So you see, like we go through what's called price and time phases. The markets always go through these phases. And unfortunately, the hard thing about trading is it becomes very noisy at the top up here. It is so noisy right now. And I get it, right? Especially if you don't understand these markets. You've been trading for, say, less than 5 years. The noise sucks you in, doesn't it? And guess what ends up happening, right? Just like the tariff situation this year, right? Everyone was like screaming, oh my goodness, that's going to go down. And then you started shorting the market. You started buying put options because everyone was screaming crash. And guess what? The market bottomed and went back up, right? So the opposite happens to the noise. And it's very noisy, right? So we can see this here, right? So the bull market's getting very, very close towards the end of the year, right? This is the end of the bull market. So we are, again, I don't know exactly where. And people think I hate gold. Like, a bit of an FYI for you guys. You do know that I was saying back here, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys know this anyway. Let me go back to the weekly chart. You do know when we're going through this sideways here, I'm saying I'm expecting one more push to the upside. You do know that, right? So I haven't hated gold. I actually said we're getting ready for one more break to the upside. And people think that I hate gold. Half the battle for you guys, remember, I want you to be around 12 months from now. So, looking at this gold chart, look at this here. Look at this. See this angle? Look how strong that angle is compared to that angle through there. See the legs? This one here is a lot more vertical. See that through there? It's like rocket ship, like Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk. This rocket ship is giving us a warning sign. The warning sign is that this is now the end of the move. This is a blow off top. And this is what actually happened back in even one of the greatest booms we've seen in the last sort of 20, 30 years, which was back through here, right? And I got a message from someone just recently. Maybe it was on... someone said, John, do you know that there was a big boom started in 2001 and didn't finish to 2011? Or what about these big corrections through here? Right, the markets do go through these corrections. But anyway, as you can see, this very big bull phase through here, how did it end? And this is what we want to do, right? We just want to be alert to when things are potentially ending, so we can just not be, sometimes just step aside. Hang on, I don't know what's going on right now. Let me step aside, right? Let me protect my account. No FOMO. No FOMO right now, right? Run away. So how did this very big bull phase from 2009, actually, it really started around the 2009 into sort of middle of 2011, which is a bit of FYI. What is that? Oh, that's what, 2 years and then bull phase over. And do you know what would have been happening up here as well too? Do you know what would have been happening up here? Oh, it's going to 50,000. Right. So we can see this here, right? We have this really big phase through here. We have a really big vertical spike from here. And this is something that in that free trading course, guys, that I give you, that first link in the description there, that free trading course, I think it's phase number 3. I talk a lot about the way these markets sort of operate when it comes to, the moves, when it comes to like the strength in the moves and the blow off tops and all sort of stuff. So I could talk about in phase number 3, there's about 2 hours worth of content now in phase number 3 that walks you through like this sort of stuff when it comes to how to identify this sort of stuff and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in that, you go get that. The very first video you get, by the way, if you've been struggling this year, which 90% of you guys are, the very first video you get in that free trading course, by the way, guys, is a 40-minute video walking you through the top 30 mistakes that I've made in the last 20 years. And then also how I started to overcome them. So if you're looking to start to stop making the mistakes that stop you from moving forward, that very first video, there's so much in that free trading course, guys. So that first link in the description there, make sure you go get access to that. But I'm always looking to see when things, I'm always looking for common things to see when things are likely to be ending here, right? So as you can see, we had the nice move up here, nice move, nice move, nice move. But notice how strong that move was here. See how that was what? That was the last final blow off top move from there. And then we started to get this here. See that through there? So we could see that we get that last sort of final blow off move. And then what happened? We did what? Nothing for 2 years. Middle 2011 to 2012, 2013. And then we had a drop. Now I'm not expecting that. But look at this here. It's very, 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 very fascinating to see what? Something really similar, right? We've been going up, up, up. By the way, when we broke it, 2 years and then a big blow off move. We broke it, 2 years, a big blow off move. You see, it's the same pattern repeating. Repeat again and again and again and again and again, right? And again, traders, once again, my job is just to help you identify these things. And sometimes the best thing to do is like, hey, I'm not going to get involved with this right now because there's a big chance that I could be wrong. And I need to go focus on something that's going to give me a bit more of a high probability of being right. And it just continues to blow my mind that most of you Muppets that are around the whole gold and silver and mining sector right now, where were you 2 years ago? I guarantee you're on the Bitcoin wagon, right? Because everyone was there. And now everyone's on the... right? You little bumblebees, focus on a system. You want to be professional? Use a system. Use a trading system, which I teach you in that trading course, from there. So, and that's what I'm all about, guys. Like, I'm trying to show you that I don't want you to be lucky in these markets. I don't want you to be lucky. I want you to have a high probability of you being around 10 years from now and doing really well. And that doesn't come from guessing and having a luck from there. So, moving on now. Silver. So silver right now, very big vertical spike. Wow. Same for silver, right? There's so much. Look at this here. Look at silver. Just crazy. And the thing is, guys, is when this happened last time, silver, we got this. When this happened last time in silver, we got this. Oh, it's happening again. Oh, no, this time's different, John. That's like, no, same things happen. Put it, FYI, when things do go vertically, the unfortunate thing is that you don't know when the top's going to be in, right? You don't know when the top's going to be in. And in fact, if you actually go check out one of my, let me show you, okay, cool. Right, so yeah, so we can see this here with silver. So just really, really high with silver, a big sort of resistance level through there. We may push through it one move, but this is the big thing with, especially with silver. Silver's a bit of a wildcat. Look at this here. So as soon as we actually had this big breakout, we actually had a big drop really, really quickly out of silver. So silver's looked like it's getting really, really, really overextended from there. And it looks like we're about to see some moves on the downside of there. Now, the big thing I really want to share with you guys is that there's repetitive patterns in the markets. Okay, there is repetitive patterns in the markets that form again and again and again. And what I'm talking about is this. I want you to see, or I want you to get good at identifying when these big patterns are forming. And so look at this here. So let me bring on a screenshot from here. Right, and look at this here. So this is a screenshot that I took from my coaching clients. And you see how there's a common characteristics around these repetitive patterns that form. Okay? So you can see here that these are the top charts up here. Now, whenever I do get my L-shaped trading pattern, right? Especially on a monthly charts, look at this here. Up, 3 years sideways, 3 years sideways, 3 years sideways. Whenever we do get that, we get big moves. So that's where my focus right now for the next really big bull phase right now is actually in these three markets from here. And this is XLE. I think XLE, now I say that on the back of the pattern. It's not my thought. Well, John, how can that happen if the recession is going to happen and always going to, and thought, I don't know. You can't rely on that. Stop thinking of, well, what happens in inflation and what happens in recession? Stop. Is the pattern there, yes or no? Yes. Okay, cool. Get ready for a potential breakout, because if it does break out, we're going to get for a big move. Keep it that simple. Stop making it complicated for yourself. Right? Oh, but John, if the inflation stays high and what happens if we go into recession and everything crashes, surely, I don't know. You could be right. I can't make a decision based off a thinking. What can I do though? Oh, it's the pattern. I can rely on the pattern, because when the pattern forms in the last when the pattern forms, there's a high probability of us getting a trade. So if XLE does start to break above its high, this is XOM, by the way, XOM, and then CVX. Just like gold did, right? When it breaks above the high, Right now, people are interested in gold, aren't they? Well, what was giving us a warning sign that we're going to go through a big move? Oh, it went sideways for 3 years and then broke out. This one here, AXP. See what I'm saying here? So we don't know why back here. We can make up things of, why things are going to have a big move. In fact, you probably would have thought the exact same thing back here on AXP. Even Goldman Sachs. What was happening back here? This was back here was 2023. What was happening in 2023? Oh, the recession is happening and the market's it's gonna go down and recession. You see what I'm saying here, right? So you can't rely on your thoughts because most of them are wrong. Because at the moment, if you're relying based off, oh, I'm worried, I'm fearful, and then you go trade based off the herd, you are going to get run over, right? So as you can see, that even back here, and again, back here with gold, what was most people saying? See what I'm saying? So the thing is that I just say, do we actually have a really good trading pattern here? Yes. And because there's a long-term monthly charts, it tells me that if XOM does break up through here, there's a big probability we're about to see a really big move out of the XLE market. The end. Why? Because the patterns, the charts are talking to us. And when they're talking to us, and you can see I'm giving you 3 examples here. This is gold, this is AXP, and this is Goldman Sachs. 3 different charts, same pattern, same outcome, right? And of course, some of you guys are looking for that one, like absolute certainty that this is going to happen. Like, there's no certainty. It's called a win-loss ratio, right? But how can you have a good win-loss ratio when you're not even trading based off a pattern? So we can see that through there, and what's going on there with the energy market. Let's go have a good look at the good old Bitcoin from here. And Bitcoin for me, guys, looks like Bitcoin's about to have a nice move, another move to the upside. And the reason why is you can see here, actually I'll bring this up through to here. We can see here that resistance, we come down, we found support, we actually bounce back up. But you can see that we actually spent a bit of time going here. So looks like Bitcoin's about to make another move up because that resistance back here and resistance, which is all through there, it does look like that Bitcoin here bounced and now we're going back up and we're bouncing back up again. So it does look like now we've done a bit of time. Looks like we're about to go for another nice move to the upside from there. So anyway, traders, that's an update for you guys today. Have an amazing week. Hey traders, just a quick heads up. I'm actually giving away free access to my mastery trading course for a limited time. If you go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be the first link in the description. The fact is that 80 to 90% of the stuff that you learn or you use on these trading platforms is a complete waste of time. And only about 5 to 10% of the stuff that you actually learn and use is going to move the needle in the positive direction for you. And that's over the last 20 years, I've put everything that has helped me move the needle in the positive direction in this here, and I've left everything else out. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now and grab complete free access to this mastery trading course.